Beating the final boss in Elden Ring Nightreign was one of the most cinematic moments in gaming I have ever experienced. I don't know if you've ever felt this before, but it was one of those runs where it felt like the entire universe was conspiring to do everything in its power to lead me to victory. I hope you all enjoy. The relics I used for this expedition were the Grand Burning Scene from the Jar Bazaar to cause fire spread upon pile bunker use, along with a strength and dexterity boost, the Knight of the Fathom for more maximum HP, and the Knight of the Baron for better crit damage, ultimate charge on crit, and a stamina regen after crit. Like all great runs, I cleared out a nearby small camp that gave me enough runes for level 2. Heading up a hill, a magic castle was waiting for me, where I destroyed a Crystallion, even without the use of my ultimate, that dropped a bleed weapon for me. Redmane Knights were next on the list, and the first participants in the pile bunker montage. The chest right next to the second knight had a sleep-inflicting Beastclaw Great Hammer. This weapon I acquired right at the beginning of the run is what later led me to victory. When exploring these camps, be sure to always open the chests. Most drops from them are commons, but you'd be surprised how many rare items they may hold. A second magic castle was nearby, and it turns out the Crystallion on the top floor could not handle a few Lion's Claw attacks, letting me save up that ultimate charge. After America Church, I decided to take a look at the boss on the lake. Demi-Human Queens are the easiest field boss in my experience, with their limited movesets and status effect susceptibility. The boss drop was 12% more physical damage negation. I knew I would be getting hit a fair share in the final fight, so I need all the damage negation I can get. The storm was closing in fast, but with a bleed weapon on hand, the troll in the mine lost a lot of blood fast and dropped a smithing stone too for a blue to purple upgrade, if I needed one. The Night 1 boss was not optimal, as a Valiant Gargoyle spawned in. This is one of those Elden Ring enemies I rarely mess with nowadays. Him being immune to statuses didn't help either. Knowing how unpracticed I was with this fight, I took it slow and safe and whittled down his HP bar one hit at a time. He dropped a damage negation penalty for enemies after a critical for me, and the first night came to a close. I steamrolled over a Fire Monk for some quick experience, and a passive weapon buff to improve my critical hits even further. A camp of 3 Royal Knights was nearby, and they had a health boost in store for me. One America Church and a Golem were situated nearby, so I spent some time with my favorite boss Punching Bag. Halfway through day 2 and a bit lower leveled than I would like to be. This was only day 2 of the game's release, and I was still figuring things out a bit. I challenged a difficult field boss. The closest one to my location was an ulcerated tree spirit. This enemy was weak to bleed and easy to hit with my Great Hammer, so I took advantage of that boosted critical damage and leveled up to 9. The second night was coming to a close, and the castle basement boss was still undefeated. Stepping into the room, I found a red wolf waiting for me. The trickiest part of this fight in Elden Ring is hitting the boss. The castle basement has much less room to run around in than the debate parlor in Raya Lucaria, so this was less of an issue. The red wolf expired at the business end of the pile bunker, and he dropped the modifier to turn my heals into life gems. The castle talisman drop was another HP increasing item, the Crimson Amber Medallion. There is a merchant right outside the castle that had a quick revive, and more importantly, a couple of uplifting aromatics. These perfumes came in clutch for the final fight. The enemies before the second night boss were Nox, and I thought for sure I would be getting an Estelle fight, as this spawn was new to me. Nope, the Dancer dropped in instead. This is one of my favorite fights in Dark Souls 3, and I almost felt bad for destroying her so thoroughly. A few hits from the Beastclaw Great Hammer stunned her, and I landed a critical. I followed up said critical with a pile bunker on her phase transition, and stunned her again. The second crit brought her HP to 0, after letting her only perform a handful of moves. I walked into the final boss fight at level 11 with a Holy Damage Great Hammer, 2 quick revives, 2 uplifting aromatics, and 1 warming stone. This final boss is the only 2 health bar Nightlord fight in Nightreign. The first phase is a straightforward melee battle, where you have to be mindful of long sweeping attacks with delayed follow-ups. The move that gave me the most trouble is the charging attack he does right after the roar. Half a second after the roar ends, get ready to dodge to the side and don't get hit like me. With a holy weapon, holy being his weakness, and good poise damage, I was able to finish phase 1 with some heals and both revives remaining. Then the insane display that is phase 2 began. The same moveset existed here like in phase 1, however there were much more AoE and projectile attacks. Some delayed in classic Elden Ring fashion. There is one attack where a ton of projectiles follow you that I wasn't quite sure how to avoid. My best guess was to strafe run, and that worked well enough. Halfway through the phase, he opened up a rift to a different dimension. Heolster can open up rifts to many different colored dimensions, and that color will indicate the damage type and status effect imbued in the sword and on the ground. After a while in this phase, he will discharge the element and return to the pre-buff state. While opening the rift and discharging the element, he'll create a huge AoE attack that I didn't know how to dodge at the time. Instead of testing my luck, I used the uplifting aromatic to negate the vast majority of damage from these attacks. This was my third time in this fight, and I did not know the dodge timings on these moves. Towards the end of the fight, Heolster discharged his element, which hit me for minuscule damage, all thanks to the uplifting aromatic. And in short order, by the force of my great hammer, his poise was broken. With a small bit of HP remaining, there is only one way this fight could have ended. I still had 2 quick revives in my inventory when I finished the fight. Since this fight was before the solo patch, they were the security I needed to stay alive should my health reach 0. With the new solo patch out, we will all have a much smoother ride, battling all these new bosses. This final fight is tough, but fair. And with a bit of practice and a lot of failing and trying again, I know you can win at Nightreign solo too. To everyone still here, thank you so much for watching. This was the craziest final battle I've had in a while. I've rewatched the recording of it multiple times, and I cannot believe how perfect that ending was. There will be much more Nightreign and other Souls-like content here on the Jersey Side, so do subscribe for a new video at least every Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time.